So this unit, Gateway Activity, is called the American Revolution, and I wanted to focus on what were the unheard voices of the American Revolution. And we won't get into that today, but that's kind of the theme for later on as we keep going. So a little bit about my class. This is an 8th grade U.S. history course. Background of my students is mid to low socioeconomic status. Very unsimilar to Annie's. It has probably about 50-50 males, females like Cammy's. This is urban students, a very diverse population, high population of East African and Hispanic students. And so the context that they know, we've just finished a unit about how to be a historian, and so they know how to read primary documents and analyze sources and look for textual evidence. And then we've just started a unit on, it's called Black and White, and we're talking about racism, and so that's kind of gearing us up to talk about the American Revolution. Some standards and goals. So we're going to be focusing on 8th grade social studies, ELR 1.1.1. So understanding the ideals and principles outlined in the Declaration of Independence. That's kind of where we're going to go today. And then, so we're going to start, so if you guys can take out a piece of paper, and if you need paper, I can give you some. Good? Okay, so I want you guys to brainstorm. So this can be brain dump, so just write down what you think, just as it comes out of your head. So come up with at least 3 most important rights and the 3 most important responsibilities that you have as a student. So whether that's you have the right to have a 15-minute recess every day, or if you have the responsibility to do your homework every night. So I want you guys to, those are just some examples. So brainstorm some of those ideas right now. And I will too. About 1 more minute. When you're done, I'll know you're done if your pencil is down, but take your time. Okay, and something I should have covered first, but maybe we need to talk about the difference between a right and a responsibility beforehand. Does anyone want to share out maybe a difference between them, or why we could consider them different?
Rights can't be taken away from us.
Cool, I like that. What about a responsibility? Can responsibilities be taken away from us?
I guess so.
Guess so?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to assume for our context that a right is something that can't be taken away from us, and a responsibility is a duty that we have to uphold something. So right and responsibility. Okay, so let's do, we'll share aloud, kind of just see what comes out, and we'll write it up on the board, and we'll kind of maybe categorize them from our top to bottom. Katie, do you want to start?
I said my
rights first.
I have a right to resources that I need.
What kind of resources?
Ooh, like maybe like special like learning tools, maybe.
Okay,
Like
yeah. And I think this could encompass a lot of things. You have the right to access resources like learning tools. Maybe if you have an IEP, you have the right to, have an aid in the classroom or use a computer while you type, things like that.
Oh, to be treated with respect.
Okay, okay. Respect. And did you have one more?
I said help when I need it, but I guess that's kind of just a resource.
Okay. I like that. Help. Needed. So the teacher or maybe your fellow students, or if you're doing group work, your group members need to be able to help you when you need support. Okay, what about you, Andy?
I have a right to have access to education, so you can't just kick me out and say I can never, ever, ever be educated.
You love learning.
Because learning is great.
Learning is great. Okay, what's another one?
I also said, even as a student, I have a right to express myself.
Okay.
So whether that be at recess or in the classroom, I have the right to say what I think.
Cool. So you would like a variety of activities that allow you to express yourself.
I would love some student voice.
Sounds good. Okay. What's one more that you have?
Oh, I like homework too.
Okay, awesome. I said a lot of things very similar to you guys. I said I have the right to know my expectations. So as a student, I want to know what I'm expected to do or perform in the class. I said I have the right to expect for the teacher to be prepared. Because, like we've talked about an analogy of the restaurant before. If I come into the restaurant, I don't want the cook to be like, well, we ran out of carrots, so sorry, you can't have your soup today. You know, I want to be prepared for students as well. Cool. And then I also said I had the right to a 30-minute lunch, but maybe that might fall under responsibilities. Okay, so we'll start with Candy again. What about some of your responsibilities?
I said I'm responsible for advocating for my learning.
Okay.
Or for myself, I guess.
I think that's kind of a cool one because it kind of falls under both, right? Like you have a right to access resource, and maybe some younger students who can't advocate for themselves have a right to have someone speak for them on behalf. I like that. Okay. What's the other one?
I said I'm responsible for doing my work.
Responsible for doing work. I also said that as well. Okay. Did you have one more? Or just
Yes, very simply, I said I'm responsible to learn.
To learn. Okay, I love it. Okay, awesome. A plus. Okay, Andy, what about you?
I have responsible to participate in class actively. And then I also had what you had, which is being prepared for
Okay.
class and prepared to learn.
Prepared.
I think you have the responsibility not to take away other people's rights.
I like that too.
I was gonna say that don't take away from other people's learning or something.
Yeah, rights of learning. Sometimes when students are distracted in class, a lot of their point is, yes, you may not be distracting yourself from your own learning, but you're distracting others, and I think that's not a good action to choose. Others. Cool. I said very similar things as well. Do your homework, attend class, which is kind of being responsible and participating actively, and make up your next work. So that kind of fun. Okay. Great. So then let's share as a class some rights and responsibilities we have as American citizens. So looking at a broader picture, so we've looked at student work. Now let's look at bigger American picture. And we're going to talk about contemporary American citizens, so us right now. And then we're going to look back and kind of think about this in a colonial perspective and how maybe some of those women and men back in that time might have felt. So I'll write this over here to get a little picture. Okay. American citizens today. Okay. What's a right that you have today? Walking down the street, what is something you are guaranteed to be able to do?
Be free.
Be free. Okay. Free.
You can vote.
Vote.
Right of protest.
Protest. Andy likes to protest. Okay. It's kind of just a brain dump, so whatever comes to your mind.
Like safety and security.
Safety and security. Okay.
Practice my religious beliefs.
Good one.
Right to a free trial. Fair trial. To be honest, it's never free.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Let's be honest, those legal fees, right? Trials. Okay. What about some responsibilities? What are we responsible for as American citizens?
Oh, we can bear arms.
Yeah, we can bear arms. Is that a responsibility?
That's definitely a right.
Definitely a right. Okay. Not bear arms, but bear arms.
Bear
arms.
Feel a picture of that. Okay. What about some responsibilities?
we can bear arms, but we can't hurt other people.
Yeah. Can't hurt.
Unless they're trying to hurt us.
Okay. And that kind of falls back into right. A lot of these cross over.
Mhm.
I'll kind of relate that back. What else are we responsible for?
Voting.
Voting. I think that's a big one.
Protest atrocities.
Protest atrocities. Okay. So, do we need to be able to use some of our rights responsibly?
Yes.
Kind of going back and forth.
We have the responsibility to change things that aren't fair.
Okay, yeah. I kind of think of that as changing things that aren't just. So I think that's kind of a great benefit we have in our society, more or less, that we can speak out against something if we find that something is unfair. Think about, we have tons of examples of protests on university campuses right now and in the streets, things like that. Let's try to come up with one more responsibility.
We have the responsibility of welcoming people in need into our country.
Cool. Welcoming those in need. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, we said, and so a lot of these things that you guys have listed here, and this is kind of going to go back on maybe some prior knowledge that you have. Where can you find a lot of these rights listed in any of our legal documents?
The Bill of Rights.
The Bill of Rights, which is found in
The Constitution.
the Constitution. Awesome. So we're going to take a look at some of those primary sources later on as we go through, but just be thinking about these. So we have rights and responsibilities as a student that we're need to be held accountable for, and things that we are given. But we also have rights as American citizens, things that we're allowed to do because we do have a right for those. But we're also responsible for being responsible for those rights. We don't want to. I think Dr. Ritter's "can't hurt others"